All right, 45 seconds to go. Just a quick note, this isn't a community-focused state of the game, right, Peter? No. I will make sure this gets up in podcast format, because I know people have been asking, hey, for the State of the Game podcast dead? They aren't. Just the previous ones we have done do not make sense to put up in audio format because you can't see pictures. Anyway, we'll see you in a few seconds for episode 90.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to State of the Game for February 22nd, 2018. The sound is on me now, right?
This was so weird. I literally tested that audio clip like 30 seconds ago before we started the stream, and it worked. Well, I don't know. OBS
was it too
is drunk.
loud? Was it too
no
sound?
OBS is drunk. I don't know what's happening.
Well, drunk computers. Hey, everyone. Anyway, welcome to State of the Game. February 22nd, I already said that. My name is Peter. The guy behind the scenes is Hamish.
Hi.
Frederick in here actually helping us out right now. You can't see him. You've never seen him. You have, maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, so I'm gonna actually today. Hey, chat. Hello, everyone. Is Anthony still here? And go get out of here. I'm gonna jump straight into the subject of the day, or kind of the theme of the day. So we do know there's a whole bunch of like big discussions in the community right now about various subjects. But there's one that we have been talking a bit about during previous State of the Games, just saying that we're going to change things, but not exactly what we're going to change. And of course, that is classified and exotic drop rates and general acquisition. And in order to do that, I kind of need Hamish behind the camera right now, because in order to help us talk about that, kind of in a just to give you guys a transparent look at what's going to happen.
I'm getting there.
We brought a special guest with us.
I was trying to fix the thing.
Actually, before we switch to James, there's one thing I want to clarify about this, because I know I was unclear at one point. The changes we are going to talk about today to the drop rates and other forms of getting classified gear, it's not in the game yet, and it's not going to be in the game for a while. This is the future. We're trying to be as transparent as we possibly can about this, and that's why we wanted to discuss it with you as soon as we could, okay? So we'll keep you updated on when it's actually happening, but this is what we're looking at doing. This is in development right now, and you'll see it relatively soonish on the live servers. So, without further ado, here we have James, all the way from Leamington Spa. Hey, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good. It's kind of sad to have you on Skype instead of sitting here together with Terry in the couch, which was last time you were on State of the Game.
I know, and I like visiting Sweden as well, so hopefully in the future I'll be able to get back on the couch and I can tell everybody what I had for lunch and, you know, drink out of a big mug, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I hear that's good State of the Game content.
Yeah.
I'm actually not going to look at the laptop. I'm going to look at the screen instead. So first of all, for the people who don't know you, who haven't seen you, have actually been on State of the Game a couple of times before, but could you please just introduce yourself and what it is you do?
Yeah, my name is Jim Norris. I'm a game designer on The Division, and I do things on The Division.
Good.
Pretty much it.
Well, I mean, good summary.
Yeah.
You design stuff on the game.
Yeah.
So let's just straight jump into it. So right now, and we knew this was going to happen, everybody knew it was going to happen, that the math when it comes to the classified gear and the drop rates, it's kind of off right now. There's a lot of classifieds in the drop pool, and the drop chances are pretty low. So if we're just going to start there, what have you done to the drop rates for classified gear in the game?
So yeah, we obviously understand the frustration now that all the sets are out there for you to get the single piece or pieces that you're looking for to complete a set. So we took a look at all of the places where classifieds were dropping in the game, and we've effectively doubled most of them. So, open world bosses, for example, used to be 3%. Now those are 6%. All of the areas across the game where it was 3%, we've made it 6%. We've increased it in the dark zone as well, but those were already surprisingly at 5%, and I didn't want to put them up to 10, so I put those to 6 as well. But hopefully that will mean that you'll start seeing some more classy gear dropping.
There's also, that's one thing we also talked about at State of the Game a couple of times, and it is that drop rates are good and all, but it's not the be all and end all of getting classified gear. It's not the most interesting always to way to get classified gear. So you also looked at other solutions at the same time. Yeah,
so you'll also see now in legendary missions, we've upped the chance. Well, we've added the chance and upped the chance to 20% for classifieds and legendaries. So if you want to challenge yourself and do a legendary mission, you're going to have roughly a 1 in 5 chance of picking up some classified gear. As well, we had heard people talking about the season pass supply drop and how that wasn't really, people just tend to ignore it. So I've added a 10% chance to drop classifieds into that, as well as 100 D-Tech for opening it. So go open them again. It's worth it now, I promise. Or it will be in the future.
In the near future, yeah.
Yeah, so sorry, go ahead.
No, I was thinking about as well, those are, looking at those drop chances as well. We did mention that we were upping it quite dramatically in some places, and that's definitely what I was talking about there, of course, which some people kind of figured out already was the legendary. To have that 20% chance. It's for the mission reward at the end of a legendary mission. It's now 20%.
And it's difficult. It's difficult stuff. So we want to reward you accordingly. So we feel like the legendary missions was a good place to put like a very high chance for classified gear to drop.
Right. But you also did a couple of things in connection to caches.
Yes, let's see. So for the resistance caches as well are going to have a chance to drop them. Is that what you were talking about? I think that's what you're talking about. Well, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
There we go.
Yes, during global events. So in future global events, I've changed around the caches a bit. I've gotten rid of the small 900 GE caches because if you want to get regular set gear, you can go to the vendors to get that. So you'll still have the regular superior caches, but in addition, I've added new singular classified caches. So during the event, whatever sets are featured in that event, you can buy a cache that will guarantee one piece from that specific set.
Right.
So that's going to be a really good way for people to definitely hone in and finish those builds out. And, we wanted to make a fun way for you to go out and earn that piece. We didn't want to just make them so readily available that you spend a week or so and you've got every set that you've ever wanted. But this is going to make it really, really easy for you to do it during the events.
Right.
Also, during the off season, I've added a cache into the special vendor for 2,500 Phoenix creds that will roll the classified loot pool once and guarantee you a classified item. So it won't be a specific one, but it will be a classified item. So you can kind of focus during the events on the ones that you want. And if you find yourself sitting on a load of Phoenix credits, as I've heard some people mention before, you can hop into the special vendor and dump 2,500 on them to get a classified.
Right. Yeah, because Phoenix credits, it serves two purposes there. One, it's a good way to get classified gear, but it's also a good way to actually make Phoenix credits kind of relevant again. You were talking about the supply drops before, season pass supply drops, which at the moment are kind of you don't really go there to get any gear, but same thing with Phoenix credits. You kind of, all of a sudden you have 5,000, you go, okay, so I have 5,000. But now you actually have somewhere to go spend it, which is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. We wanted to make those a bit bit more relevant, and obviously the most desirable stuff right now is D-Tech and classified gear. So we're just looking at other ways that we can add that stuff into the game.
Right.
So we've also done for the daily assignments now. Well, in the future, I keep saying now because I'm working on it now, but in the future for everybody listening, each daily will give you 25 D-Tech, and each weekly assignment will give you 100. So I think that's about 900 to 1,000 you can get a week just from doing the dailies and the weeklies. So that's another good way to farm D-Tech. I mean, the Dark Zone's still going to be the best place to go get it. If you're an avid D-Tech farmer, you're still going to earn more than that. But this is another good way for you to get even more on top of that.
Right. There's also a couple of changes to exotics. For example, one pet kind of annoyance amongst people, and definitely understand why. Once you finish your weekly, you get an exotic cache, you open it up, and it's an historian in it. So what did you guys do about those vendor exotics?
I quadrupled the drop rate for historian.
Okay.
Across. I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking.
100% chance to get Caduceus now.
Yeah, every single time. No, so I've taken the vendor exotics out of every exotic loot pool in the game, apart from at the vendor. So if you want those, you go to the vendor and get them, but you won't get them anymore through drops or through caches. And I've also added all of the exotics apart from the vendor exotics to the open world bosses. So it'll be, you won't see Skull Gloves and Caduceus as much. You'll see some other good stuff out there. So now you should be able to get your hands on the house a lot easier in many different places. So that's good. You won't, finish a legendary and pop it open and get another historian, like you said. So that's one thing I was able to do that we hope you guys are going to be happy about. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hamish is happy. I am happy. Anything to get that damn house, please, James.
Well, yeah, you're going to be able to get it now. It's everyone's going to have the house. You're going to have two houses. You're going to have a whole block of houses.
Can you click the exotic button for me and just get me a house?
Yes, I will just sprinkle houses across the entire game. Houses for everyone.
Sounds good to me. So just to run through, these are the main changes that are happening to drop rates across the game. Just to run through them real quick, and you can comment if there is anything in particular you want to shine some more light on. Drop rates that were 3% for classifieds are now 6%?
Yep.
That's correct.
That is correct.
New caches have been added during the global events. You can now get targeted gear set caches for the specific sets that are being featured during that global event.
Yep, you got it.
And then in between, the classified cache for 2,500 Phoenix credits.
That's it. You got it.
Okay, cool.
So that's classifieds everywhere. That's a lot more ways to get the classifieds you want, and just classifieds in general. So we hope that people are going to be able to finish out their builds, and I don't want it to be raining classifieds, but maybe sprinkling classifieds.
Right. And also, yeah, the final drop in legendaries now have a 20% chance to give out a piece of classified gear, and that's when the mission drops. Like when you finish the mission, you get the reward and 20% chance to be classified.
Yes.
Season pass supply drops becoming relevant again. 10% chance to drop classifieds and give 100 D-Tech each. I'm waiting for you to say yes or no.
Yes.
And daily assignments giving 25 D-Tech and weeklies giving 100. And then, of course, the great news that the vendor exotics are now gone from the loot pool.
They are truly vendor exotics now.
Yes, they can live up to their proper name. And also all the exotics added to the Light Zone bosses. You've also done some changes with the global event tokens. Primarily, the resistant bosses now give out more, right?
Yeah, they give out 100. I think it was 38 before. So we brought it up to 100. It's not 150 because I think you can kill a lot more of them a lot quickly than the rest of the game. But they drop a bit more, so I think it's a bit more balanced that way.
Right. Well, these are some awesome changes in general. So I'm personally very much looking forward to seeing them in game. So I just want to clarify, guys, that this is stuff that's currently being worked on. It will be on the live servers in the relatively near future. I can't give you any exact dates or anything, but we wanted to make sure that you guys know what we're working on, and we want you to know exactly what we meant when we talked about drop rates and, again, other ways of getting classifieds and exotics and stuff. So we thought it important to be as transparent as we can be about certain things, and this is one of those topics. I know there are other things that people want answers to, and we'll try to get them to you, but for now, on this state of the game, that is the theme of the day. So thank you very much for coming, James, and for telling us about all of this cool stuff.
Yeah, well, hopefully next time it'll be on the couch and we can go get a cheeseburger somewhere.
I think so. We could do a state of the game about that cheeseburger.
Yes.
Sounds good to me. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
man.
Thanks. See you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to State of the Game. One thing that I've, of course, see mentioned, which I sadly have to say what I've said before, the Xbox One X patch, I don't have any news when it comes to dates or anything for that. It's coming, but I can't tell you exactly when yet. I'm very sorry. And we'll talk about other issues and stuff in future State of the Games, but today we wanted to share the drop rates and caches and all that stuff that's coming to the game in the future. Let's see, GE, please. Jesus Christ, man. When the next GE, we'll update you on that soon as well. As soon as we can. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Inigo, I love you. Petter, I love you too. I've been seeing you streaming the game a bit, which is nice. But we'll be back next week. Hopefully, he better, damn it, be back in the office, Yannick.
Well, that's the plan.
Right? Otherwise, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, no, he should be back. Again, people who are tuning in late, if you want to catch this in podcast format, I'll make sure to get this up after the stream. I know we've missed a few of those because of the community focus, but we'll get that going again for these types of things, so you can listen to it whenever you like.
Yes.
Nice.
Cool. All right. But thank you very much, everyone, and we will see you again very soon.
Bye.
Bye.